Hey, howdy, hey everybody, and welcome back to Fallout New Vegas. And last time we finished up all of the, side content this DLC has to offer, and this time we're going to be heading to the Forbidden Dome, in the Forbidden Zone, or Forbidden Zone Dome, my bad. But we've also got some weapons in our inventory because we are very low on ammunition. So I picked up the 45 pistol, the advanced layer, which I am going to give the mods, the prismatic lens and auxiliary chip too, so pretty cool. Recharges some ammo over time and splits the beam. And what else did I pick up? We got some pulse grenades as well, but that's it for weapons. And the long carabine is back in our inventory. But let's waste no more time and head to the dome. Fast traveling to the dome, we can actually just bypass all of the scorpions that we left because, yeah, the door's unlocked now. I don't think they can come in here. Here we are. Pretty cool. Look at that giant Robo-Scorpion. Very cool indeed. I'm just going to loot up stuff though. And we're going to find the terminal to shut down the Scorpion, I think. That's why I want to make sure I had 100 science this time around for sure. Yo. Alright, the Scorpion is fully locked onto me right now, but it's about to be perished by these laser turrets, but I'm trying to also race against time on top of my turrets firing it, trying to get to the main computer here so I can show you guys that you can disable it yourself. Let's go up here with the revelation, and if we talk to this terminal, very hard emergency shutdown. So I'm going to go ahead and pop a Programmer's Digest. You can also get, I think, a couple of these from one of the think tank guys, the one that can't speak, Dr. 8. But I'm going to go ahead and quick save and hack into here. And once you have hacked the very hard terminal, if you're able to, you can initiate emergency shutdown and the procedure log. So if we look at this, per instructions, yada yada yada, it's just telling us if we do it, it will shut down the Scorpion. So I'm going to quick save real quick and then I'm going to do it. Alright, and initiate emergency shutdown.
Is this thing on? This is Mobius. Dr. Mobius.
And yeah, no longer attacking us. Let's see if we can loot it.
Emergency test shutdown. In 5, 4, as in forbidden. 3, as in tree. 2, as in two Brutus. 1, as in none. Oh, the emergency overload is initiated.
And yeah, just shut it right off. So I'm gonna hop down there and see what we can do about that. I also got 3,000 XP, so. Alright, and I'm not sure if this is gonna, range true, but I do know if we level up again, we are gonna go ahead and do this for our level up. So, 74 barter, 68 energy weapons, moving sneak up a bit, and maxing out our development in speech because we're just gonna finish it off with the skill book and implant combo. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get back to checking out if we can loot this Scorpion. Alright, and over here, audio sample Mobius's Robo-Scorpions. There's the final jukeboxes. We have found a recalibration file. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you. And we have finished up that quest, but in order to actually finish the quest, you can see there, we have to do the biological research station as well? I thought we completed his, but we'll go ahead and check that out as well. Alright, and taking out the giant Robo-Scorpion, he actually blows up like the cars do in Fallout. And let's see what he had on his corpse, on his person. Alright, and on the X-42 giant Robo-Scorpion, you will find yourself a third layer of the original default kind and a valence radii accentuator, just the single one. So, I think crazy cool. Some good loot, I guess, miscellaneous stuff, but layer's nice for sure. Alright, and coming out of that Forbidden Zone Dome, if we actually cross this pipe back over here into the botanical garden, we missed a pack of seeds over here, but no worries, we picked it up, and that means we can now head back to the sink and finish things up there before returning back to the Forbidden Zone Dome. So let's go ahead and plug those in.
Right on.
Alright, and now we have plugged in the sound file for the Robo-Scorpion. Let me go ahead and recalibrate it. There we go to Robo-Scorpion. And if we check it out in the Pip-Boy, we will see that Critical Strike does explosions, so very good indeed. The most useful one out of all of them, in my opinion. And if we talk to the Research Center once last time...
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah, I can smell it all over you.
And yeah, I command you to open your port and receive my seed.
Ah, yeah, baby. Just slip it in there. All the way down in that dark, moist earth. Launching interface.
And there we go. The banana yucca fruit has been removed. Dried honey mesquite pod removed, and dried maize. I think it's just taking everything out of my... I don't know. But anyways, I also want to fill up my water bottles, and then we're going to head back on over and deal with the Forbidden Zone. Approach this way. Let me turn off my light on. Yeah. Let's go ahead and enter. And in the red, very cool. Pretty much the same thing as the other dome. Here we are, but I do want to make a pit stop because Dr. Mobius' glove is right here on the table. Very cool indeed. And his scrubs are also located in this room. Don't want them. They're there. And in here, yeah, one of my favorite rooms, just full of mentats, man. Look at that. All over the table. All these boxes are just so filled up with them. Very good find indeed, but no scrubs just yet. Even though I didn't check this, right here by the stairs, Dr. Mobius' scrubs are in a trunk. So let's go ahead and put the outfit on and get the achievement. And here we are, a red outfit and the glove. Very cool, 90 XP. And let's go ahead and talk to the man himself, Dr. Mobius.
Huh? Yo, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. A little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Yeah. Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
Thanks.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-erific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though. Especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
Yeah, you aren't exactly what I was expecting to find here.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Yeah, I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes.
And yeah, so after talking to him for quite a bit there, I'm not sure how much of that I'm actually going to keep in. But we do reach level 32, which is very nice because we can get our implant GRX to rank 2, but also invest some skill points. Alright, so we got Barter to 75, Energy Weapon 65, Sneak 40, and Unarmed 40. So now it lasts, 3 seconds, and we also have 10 per day instead of just 5. Very nice indeed.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Yeah, are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Yeah, there's no need to be There's no need to be sarcastic. Meaning your own brain is a slightly out of it.
Yes, well, believe me, the opposite is equally true. Good Lord, have you bathed at all since they pulled me out of you?
Yeah, because running around a crater full of bizarre science experiments, hygiene is definitely my top priority.
Well, I see sarcasm hasn't eluded you. Fine, perhaps now isn't the best time, but it's the principle of the thing.
Yeah, what's up with the attitude, man?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote, as if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Yeah, that stuff's pretty fun, though.
Fun? Fun? Is tetanus fun? Is rickets? What about sepsis, huh? Enjoy that, do we? The things you do with our body are suicidally dangerous, and if you could silence your glandular impulses, you would hear me screaming at you!
Yeah, but don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back in my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
Yeah, I can see your point. What can I do to make this a fair compromise?
If you want me back, we need to establish some ground rules. First, showers! Second, regular checkups. Regular, mind you, and from a reputable doctor. Third, you need to listen to me more than your hormonal choir and genitalian orchestra. Promise me that, and you've got a deal.
Fine. We got a deal.
Really? I didn't expect you to actually agree to that. I'm afraid that was a bit of a bluff, really. I'm not going with you.
So what, you'd rather just stay here, never leaving that tank of whatever that stuff is?
Well, certainly there might be some things I miss about being ambulatory. We have seen some incredible sights, haven't we? Jason Bright and his followers launching into the vast unknown. Helios 1 coming back online. But still, given the tremendous, potentially life-ending peril that went along with those, yes, I'd rather stay here.
Yeah, isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're at an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed, quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
Yeah, I think we just have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So, what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Yeah, why? They promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
Well, you're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, what's the plan?
All right. Think Tank won't hold up their bargain. We'll make them. Let's just get out of here.
Right. Look out, Think Tank. This brain is coming out of its jar. I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the Think Tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
And yeah, so now we just have to make our way back to the Think Tank and have some optional objectives as well. Put in our old body parts. Let's go ahead and make our way there. Alright, I'm back here in the Sync. Let's go ahead and talk to our autodock in order to get our spine and our heart back. With the cardiac arrest perk that we got, we are now more resistant to poison by 50%, and robots are only slightly confused, so 25% less likely to score a critical hit on us. But now on the bright side, chems are even more effective, so very nice. And if we go to reinforced spine, your spine is back in your body. Torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage threshold have been doubled +2. So very cool indeed. Looking at our strength now, we are at a 10 for strength. Pretty crazy, pretty cool. But very nice. Let's head into the Old War Blues dome.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
And yeah, I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle some things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
Yeah, I'm not handing my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
Yeah. Think I am the lobotomite? No. For my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Yeah, nothing is impossible for science. Messins, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command. I don't know. Messons?
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
Yeah, I offer a deal. Stay here, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
Yeah. I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you? My foe? My rival? My foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
And yeah, that's the, I guess, good ending for Old World Blue. So let's go ahead, leave the think tank, and roll credits.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the most powerful minds of the 23rd century. The courier who had been brought to the Big Empty became its new overlord, using its facilities ruthlessly and decisively when needed. Sometimes, science is more than a quest for discovery. It is a weapon to be used in the service of one with the strength to understand it.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant, and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. It learned several new murderous techniques from the courier and built a blood shrine to itself in the cuckoo's nest. The cave floor was soon filled with the horror of 100 gutted toasters, a silent, grisly, unplugged audience. Their purpose? To toast bread, unfulfilled.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the dishes and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
The Big Empty lived up to its name. A hollow crater of failures of a past era. A last sad statement of the old world.
In the time following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, Old World Blues became more than a catchphrase.
It became a reality, a withering form of nostalgia for times long past.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, it was all this and more. Old world blues, new world misery. The two became one in the courier's shadow.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Alright, and we have lost the Brainless perk. We have gained the Big Brained perk. So with our Big Brained perk, your head still cannot be crippled, but you are only 10% more resistant to addictions now. Surprisingly, your damage threshold has improved by 10%. So nice. And the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder, like they said, lets us fast travel from the Mojave to the Big Mountain, the Sink, and vice versa. And yeah, everyone is cheering us on after fully completing the DLC. Very cool indeed. I do think you need to complete absolutely everything for that to happen. It's a very nice little touch there. But that is, of course, where we're going to leave off. Next time, we'll be back in the Mojave, though, because we do have to get back on the road and start another DLC yet again, just to get out the way. But as always, everyone, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed today's video. Share around with your friends if you think it also enjoys the content. And as always, I will see you guys next time.